Hi all, welcome to my channel, welcome to my world. This is the world away. You may be asking yourself, haven't I finished the Optimus Prime? Well, I had finished Optimus Prime, but if you remember, there was a couple more stages, very big stages, in Pack 12. Namely, we were building the blaster, the matrix of leadership, and the axe. And they are really big parts to actually put together. So what I did is I separated the videos, and I'm very conscious that I never released the video for the blaster or the matrix of leadership or axe. So that's what I intend to do today. So today we're going to be working on the blaster section, and this is around about a 28-minute video. I did record this on a Patreon / YouTube channel member stream, but it has been edited down. When I did record that, I was only using one camera. I've added all the other cameras that I recorded with that, so you can actually watch this in all its glory. But it does look really good when it's done, as you can see there. So if you do want to get this for yourself, the whole model, still available for Agora models. It's available in the video description there, and also the QR code on the screen. But without further ado, let's get cracking. So what we're going to do first off is I need this section here, and I need the blank here. Now, not that blank. It's a smaller one. It's a tiny one like this. This isn't a magnet. This is just a little piece of metal. And I do want to put some glue in here, just like this. Now, this metal isn't thick enough to go into this cavity. It's actually quite thin. So I want it to be sitting on the top wall. So if I put it in like that, so you can see it's in, you can probably see there's a gap towards the inside. That's exactly how I want that to be. Okay, now this eventually is going to be going into this section just here, like this, as you can see. But we don't attach this at this time. What we do is take this LED. Now, this came in Pack 11. So if you remember, we had a tray left over from Pack 11. And that's basically going to be feeding all the way down through this onto the other side. But we don't actually do anything with that. It's just basically hanging there at the moment. Just making sure that magnet hasn't fallen out. So it doesn't matter that these are loose at the moment there. We now need the control board. This is what the control board is looking like. And I need to start plugging some of this stuff in. So this light is going to be plugging into this side here, making sure I've got the polarity right. And push that all the way in. That's gone in quite tight. I don't think that's going to come out very easy. So there you go. We've got a switch, which again came in that same pack. That's going to go into the port below it. Put that in. Perfect. And then finally, we've got the battery pack here, which is going into this one. Now, the battery pack comes in this stage, I believe. Looking at the my box of stuff. I'm always trying to be careful to make sure that I don't bend any of the contacts in there. If you bend some of the contacts, you're going to have a bad time. Okay, this is where I need this section of the blaster. No problem saying blaster. And I also need some 2.3 by 6mm screws, which I already have out here. Look, super prepared, he says, although I didn't get my screwdriver out. Okay, so the circuit board's actually going to go into the 2 points that we can see just here. So I'm just going to line this up and get this into place. So, and this is going to enable the whole thing then to be able to lit up. I'm not quite sure how we operate it, but I'm sure we'll find that out in a second. I'm not doing this too tight because I don't want to crack the circuit board. And here's the one for this side. Now, I do need to route the wires. Let's get that in a bit tighter. Okay, so let's route these wires. Now, I'm thinking that this must go in something like that there. Because we're going to have a flap on this side that lifts so we can change the batteries. Then these two here, they've basically got them going down here, but then sort of round this section, and then I've got to put the switch in. Now the switch is going to be standing up into this little section here. like that. And the other lead I've got is actually just going to be coming out the top there. So I don't quite know how we operate the switch yet either. That's going to be interesting. But that's pretty much all in place how that needs to be. I'm happy. Then I've got these two bits. Now I don't know if we need to glue these, but basically it's a tiny section like this and a little red cross section, which I'm going to push in. Not the easiest thing. There we go. And I'm just going to see if it falls out. Nope, pretty cool. That's in there tight. But this section here eventually is going to be going into the gun. The last thing I need to glue is this magazine. I think I can say magazine. No problems at all. Again, some glue in here and here. And put this together like this. So I've got myself a little magazine, which I'm just holding in place. The magazine is going to go over this slot just here. Don't know if the... Yep, that's exactly as it fits, just like that. So it's inside the lip of the gun. This section that we created here, with the red section in the end, is going to be going on here like that. And I think I'm now in a position to link the other side of the blaster, keep saying blaster, into place. So I've got this flap, which I'm putting in here. I've already got all of these bits out, you see. So, and then I've got to put the top on. Now this is where I want to make sure I'm going to have no pinched wires. So that looks good. It doesn't matter that this one's coming out because it's going to be open on this section here. But I think that looks good. So get the other side in here. Whoops, goes in like that. That's looking almost good. That's it. That's together exactly as it needs to be. I'm holding that together. I'm guessing with some screws. Yep, these are the 2.3 by 6mm screws again. They're going to go into these holes at the back. So 2 at the back here. 1 here. And then we've got 2 more to put in. So 1 just in this center section here. And finally, and this is the last piece going in here. Now what I have noticed is that the once that's in tight, the magazine's quite loose in there, as you can see. Nothing you can do about that, unfortunately. Okay, couple more bits to put in. I have got some other bits out actually, which are these 2 sections just like this. And the first one I'm going to be doing is pushing both of these together. You will notice I'm not giving any details of names that these are. Now it doesn't tell me. It says push the cartridge bar up. Oh right, so the cartridge I should do the light. Oh, it does. Look at that. Check that out. So if you press it, it goes on, dimmer, off. On, dimmer, off. Wow, I didn't know that. Hang on, let's turn the lights off. There we go, look. On, dimmer, off. So the electrics work. Okay. They haven't asked me to glue this bit that I'm about to put on. So basically this top section is just going in here at the moment. Just double checking it doesn't need a screw. No, they don't want me to screw it in either. Bit strange because then this is going to be going on top of this section here. So just figuring out how this goes on. Oh, I can see a potential problem at the front here, that this lug here isn't in properly. Oh, it is now. There we go. So no idea how this goes. They've got this coming sort of out the front like that, this wire, with this going over the top and then slotting into that section just there. What I am going to do then is I'm going to be taking this section here, and this is going to be going up against this end, because basically I want to push this into place on here, which isn't going to be easy, just like that. Now this is going to be held in with 2.3 by 6mm screws, and they're going into the screw holes at the top here. So what this is doing, this is screwing it into this silver part here that I just put in. I am going to use my PH1 screwdriver for this. Put in a screw just into the other side here, and then that's that section into place. Perfect. Making that as tight as I can get it, because the next section I've got, just looking here, is I'm going to be putting this section here, whoops, into place on the end, just like that. And this time I'm going to need, wow, two different kinds of screws. I need 2.3 by 6, which I think are going in the top ones. Let's have a look, because let's have a look. We've got different screws here, you see. So I think they're going in, stand by. I think they're going into these middle ones here, if you can see there. So one in there, perfect. And one in the other side. Certainly building up quickly, isn't it? Okay. Then I need 2.3 by 8 mil screws, which are these ones here. And these are going into the other holes that I've got just on the bottom there. And that's sort of going to keep this whole thing together. Once this is in, just want to double check that that's still working. It is, that's good. Very clever way to light that, I have to say. And then one in here. And that's that front end in. So we've got to that stage. What's next? Again, I need 2.3 by 6 mil screws. I've got plenty of them. And what I'm going to do is take one of these. Let's get it the right way round. This one. And it's going to be going, I believe, in here, just like that. It fits over everything, so that must be right. But it's just held in with one of these 2.3 by 6 mil screws. And that's going to go in to the hole just here. Look, if I take this off here, there it is, a green lens. This is a bit like the Gundam models, in which case you do struggle to find where things are. That just slips in there like that. But I have found where that goes. Okay. Oh, getting a bit confused now, because that section that I just found that underneath I actually need now, which is this section here. I'm going to be putting in a blank bit of metal again. This is just going to be glued in. Again, if it ends in 1.6 or starts with 1.6, in this case it's 1.69, it's just a blank bit of metal. As you can see, I've got a little, what did I want to call this, bracket to attach to this. Now this is going to be going on the bottom, just onto the two lugs that you may be able to see there, like that. I need to put this in with a 2.3 by 6 mil screw. So this is going in here. So this is a flap that I'm guessing I'm going to be able to open and close. I can put that to one side. I do need another part now, which is, trying to find it. Stand by. I think it's this part here, looking like that. Although in the picture, this is orange, even though it's sort of orange on that side. But this is going to go over the points just here, like that. Now, we are in a position, I'm thinking, to actually, just looking at the instructions, to actually, because we've got a slot in here, to put the light into the slot. Now I'm trying to figure out how they've got this. It looks like they bent the wire just a touch and then slotting it into this lip there, like that. Now I am going to have to trace this wire back. The cable must be routed in a straight line. Right, okay, so we can keep it up tight at the moment. because this section I've just put in here, we're actually holding it in with another section that's going to go on top of it, which looks like this, but you don't want to pinch the wires. So let me just line this one up as well. I think that's good. And it's held in with 2.3 by 6mm screws. So if I can get a couple of these in on each corner, then I can manipulate the rest of this in. I'm not worried about that light falling out at the moment. I do want to ensure that I do have free rein for that to go through like that. So that's good. Okay, I'm just going to put this back in where it goes there. So that's looking pretty good, I think, at the moment. Now this whole section is called section A, apparently. They've kept this out though, because I now need to get the bit that I've just created here. And that's going to be going into the hole that I've got just at the top of this section there. Like that. Then I'm going to be putting the other side of this on, which looks like this. This is going to be a bit tricky. So I've got holes here for the two lugs here. Let's line them up. And I also need to put the hinge section. Wow, that went in perfect. Look at that. I'm happy with that. And again, 2.3 by 6mm screws to hold that into place. So we've got a little flap which opens. No idea what it does and why it opens. Perhaps it just vents this section. I don't know. So it's going through this hole just there. Cool. That's holding that together. And what that also does is it should keep the light in place. Let me just make sure that's still working. Still working. That's good. That's in place. We're going to be mirroring what we've done on this side, so we're going to be putting the other side on there. You can see how that goes down. That's pretty impressive, actually. So this is going to go over here with the lip of this going into the lip of the green crystal at the bottom as well. So it's just a case, again, of lining everything up at the bottom here. Okay, so that's all in. Don't know what holds that in, though. Doesn't look like anything holds that in. That's a bit of a worry. We don't have screws or anything holding this in. I think I might be putting some glue just on the bottom here. Does it ask me to glue it? It doesn't. At the moment, I'm not going to glue it, but I think it's going to need some glue. I suppose when we put this end on here, it's going to hold it on. At least I hope it will. We'll have to see. I can put that just to one side. So in that little section there, I'm going to, here's all my magnets. We've got round ones and rectangular ones. I'm going to be putting a magnet just in there, which means I need to glue this into place. Never have too much glue for magnets. And I will just let that fall in there, hopefully, like that. Let me get a tweezer. Oh, damn it. Let's get something that's not... I've stuck the magnet to my finger. Let's get something that's not magnetic to push that in. That was stupid. There we go. So that's the magnet in place. I do some stupid stuff sometimes. Okay, right. Now I've done that, I need to bring over another section, which is this section here. Trying to get it out. As a matter of fact, I need tweezers to get it out, and I'm going to be putting two magnets, exactly the same kind, into the cavities here. Now there's two that need to go in. One at the end here, and one on this side just here. So it's fully glued up. Again, let's take the magnets off. Working with magnets is a pain, I tell you. They just want to do their own thing all the time. Okay, so one in here, like that. Whoops. And the other one in here. Doesn't matter about the polarity because they're just connecting to metal. Where's that cocktail stick I had? All right. A cocktail stick just to push that down. One there and one there. Okay, now we've got that in, we can bring over this thing, blaster, and this top is going to be going into the channel just here, like this. They don't want me to glue it in, which is a bit worrying, because I'm sure it should be clipped in somehow. Oh, there we go. You have to clip it in like that to keep it into one place. So now that can close. Okay, so we've got A and B now. These parts are together. They want me to apply a little glue to B. So now we're going to be putting this, right, we're going to be putting this into the main gun. So I'm going to feed the wire through. And I do want to put some glue on these two lugs here. So this one, both sides, and this one down the bottom. Because hopefully if this works, I want to try and pin this wire as much as I can in there. Because I don't want it pinched. There we go. This goes in like that. That's looking good, isn't it? I like that. Okay, what's next? The section I just made, right. I need to put another magnet in just to this point here. Now, what worries me about that, oh no, not a magnet, this is a blank. It starts with 169, not 17. So I need to just put a blank bit of metal, not a magnet. Can't stress that enough. Just into the cavity just there. Now, because this is just a blank bit of metal, I can use me tweezers for this. And there we go, that's into that little cavity just at the top there. And then just checking this out, this basically just fits on with a magnet. So pretty much, I don't want the magnets flying out. I'm going to be able to just drop this into there and it's going to stick into place because of all the magnets. I'm not going to do that yet because obviously I need to give chance for those magnets to dry. But what I can do is just take that off, and this is going to be a real weird section now. I've got all of these parts here to do, and I'm trying to figure out what these actually are. So quite simply what we're doing is, do we glue these? We are going to be putting a bit of glue. We're going to basically drop a bit of glue into the lug on this side, and I'm going to be putting this into the lug here, I guess. I'm just figuring it out, 1 second. So if they've got that round this way, then this one is going this way and goes together like that. What are these? Is that right? I don't know what these are. But there's a few of them I've got to make. So that's one. There we go. That's all of them created. That was quite clever, wasn't it? Kind of like a barrel here. And we have got a space in here for a blank part again. Now, the one they want me to do is the one that's got... Oh, God, they all look the same. I'm trying to figure out. They're using this one first. So I'm going to be putting a blank plate into this top section here. Don't know how many of these blank plates I've got left. Matter of fact, there they are. 2 left. So 1 blank plate in there. Whoops. You've got to kind of push it in there. It is a tight fit, but that's 1 in there. Then I've got to attach a hinge. I've got the hinges here. I'm guessing we're going to be doing this twice, because I've got 2 hinges as well. Doesn't matter which hinge I use, but that's just going to go on the bottom just like that there. So that's labelled number 1. I'm going to do the same for number 2. Exactly the same. We've even got the hinge to go in there. Put a blank bit of metal in there. Push that right down. as far as I can get it. That's good. Don't know if I can get it any further. And again, the hinge is just going to go in here. The hinge is labelled, sorry, the part's labelled number 2 here. Okay, what are we doing with these? They don't actually want us to do anything with these, so I'm putting them to one side as well. Because now I'm in a case of putting these onto here, the body of what this thing's called. So I'm just hoping that's now in place. It looks like it. Once again, they want glue on these to put them in. So get some glue either side here. Just trying to figure out what way. They want to go with the fatter side facing up. The fatter side here is facing up. So let's just put one in this side here first. It's going to be a... I can see this straight away. It's going to be a pain to get this in. Just check that one out. There we go. Got the first one in. I'm just picking random ones. This is the second one. Glue the tops. There's not actually much to do, but I'm just looking at the time. I reckon we're going to just do it in time. Oh, wait a minute. They should go right deep into there like that. So that's 2 on. Let's do this third one. I don't actually think we need to glue these here because that really went in tight. Let's do the third one in here. Perfect. So that's what they look like on that side. Turn it over. Just do the ones for the other side. There you go. So they're in on both sides. Now I think I am in a position where I can put this magnetic bit on there. So that comes on. That's good. This lifts up. That's magnetic. What's next? We've got these things to put on. Stand by. Where are these going? These are going to go just underneath the panel here. They're going to be glued in again. So get some glue into that cavity down there. And put one in here. I'm going to need to hold that in. That's nowhere near going to stay in on its own at the moment. One in this side. Just like that. Nice bit of detail. Just going to hold that for a second while I figure out what we're doing next. Gently put that down because you see the holes that we got above it in here. I'm going to be putting some magnets. So these are the square magnets again. I've only got 2 left, so it's the last 2 that I've got on here. So one magnet goes in here, and I'll need my cocktail stick just to help push that in. Perfect. Turn it over. I'll hold that into place for a second. Which means I think the last things to do will be to put these sides on. Now, I'm a bit confused about how these... trying to figure out which way round it goes. I'm guessing... They don't tell you what numbers they are. I'm thinking they go this way round. So, if that was on there like this, I'm just figuring this out. And that takes that panel there. That's how that's going to look. Now, we do need to glue this in, but I am wanting to make sure, because I have got a cutout section here. The cutout section should be towards the back. So I'm glad I looked, because that means that this is going in here. So I need some glue just towards the back here, in that cavity. And then when you put this in, whoops, don't want it to stick at the moment. Let me just get it in and I'll explain. It fits deep into this recess, and the fact of it fitting deep in there is what's actually holding that side into place, as well as the magnets, obviously. but that will be able to open up. I'm just going to hold that for a second, because I do need to do exactly the same on the other side. I'm just going to hold both sides underneath with that bracket, just make sure the light still works, which it does. Got some panels just to put in here. We're actually about to finish a whole tray here, so that's a tray finished. Again, we're going to be gluing these into place, and they really want me to go to town on glue just in this section here, which is what I'm doing. Loads of glue in there. And again, if this is the number 2 side of the blaster, see I said blaster, that just clips in there. Turn it over, put loads of glue in this side, go into town on the glue, and then that one is going in this side here. Push that down. On the right hand side, we've got this panel here where we had some screws. I now get to take that in glue as well, because I've got this piece here which is going to hide all of that. There you go. And then the last thing I've got is the lens for the blaster. So let's get this out. We've got this clear piece here, and then I've got this piece here which is the end. Now the clear piece here is just going to go in like that, but once again they want me to glue the outside of this. So when I offer this to the blaster, there you go, I said it right, it's gonna stick into place. So I'm gonna try and let gravity help me here, because there you go, I don't want that lens falling out. And I believe that's done. So to change the batteries in it, we can just take this flap off here, and that gives us access to the battery box here. To turn it on and off, we press the bottom here, and as you can see, let me turn the lights off. Ugh, it's looking like that. So we've got one, a bit of a less bright one there too, and then off. And then on top of that, we've got parts that move, so we can actually open these panels here at the back like that. We can open this panel here, so we can see under there as well. And there you go, that's the blaster completed, and there will be one more video to follow just showing the axe and the matrix of leadership. So be sure to tune in for that. Please, can I implore you that if you haven't subscribed, please click that subscribe button. It will just notify you every time I've got a new video coming up. I'm well aware at the moment that 60% of my audience aren't subscribed. Why not? All it does is notify you that a video's been released on the channel. But I really hope you liked that video. If you did, please remember to give me a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed already, please remember to subscribe. Other than that, take care.